This is the Real Positive Girl podcast, and I am your host, Sabrina. I'm here chatting with you about your emotions, your mental health struggles, how to take those few first steps, they feel like really big steps, towards becoming more vulnerable, being more honest, and being more self-aware, because self-awareness is like the key, just like communication, to almost everything in our entire lives. And we do that 2 times a week here, Mondays and Fridays, so welcome if you're new, and if you're not new, welcome back. So today we're going to be chatting about how to love yourself more, loving yourself as much as others. And I'm very excited about that because that's a continuation of the previous episode that launched, talking about how and why it's important and beneficial for us to love ourselves as much as we love other people. But before we do that, let me ask you the most important question I could ask you today, which is, have we become friends online yet? So if we have, then let's make it more official by sending a DM saying, hi, let's chat in the DMs and become friends and get to know each other. Tell me what your favorite color is, your favorite fruit, and if you love summer or not. And if you do love summer, I need you to give me 3 reasons why, because I don't really like summer. It's growing on me a little bit, but I'm still like growing up in Alaska and having more a mild summer and being bored all summer until I got a job. Summers is just not my thing. So let me know. And if not, I hope that we do become friends online. You can go through the whole shebang, become friends, follow, send me a message, just get to know each other. That would be fantastic, just to say hi and hello and connect. So if you look down in the show notes below, you'll see where you can find my name for both Instagram and TikTok, which is at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. If you like Twitter and you have like a safe space that you've built over there, then you can come follow me on Twitter. I am at Real Sabrina Joy. So come say hi, friends. I look forward to getting to know you over there. And then our next question and our last question that I really want to ask you today is, have you signed up for the weekly newsletter, which now comes out on Mondays, and I think it's a better day. Let me know feedback on that. Or have you suggested a podcast topic that I should talk about, which you can do anonymously? Or have you checked out the journal planner hybrid that is available for sale on Amazon.com with Prime shipping, and it's half the cost as the OG one. It's still just as great. If you haven't looked at any of those things, or maybe only some of them, but not all of them, again, take a little peekaroo down in the show notes where you can click all the links and see all the things and become very aware of everything that I'm all about, which is mental health and mindset and helping you as much as I can. And that's really it. Oh, and I'm also asking for anyone that would like to support my goal of sharing mental health and mindset content online and full-time to become a monthly donor on Patreon or any sort of other way you would like to, support me monetarily. Again, it's all in the show notes below. So check all that out. I look forward to becoming friends with you on social. So again, let's go ahead and jump right into the topic that we are actually speaking about today, which is all about how to love yourself more, loving yourself as much as others. So this might come to a shock, this might come as a shock to you, legit. Sometimes I say things and you're like, Sabrina, no, we know you well enough now that that's not really a shock. I think this one will actually come as a shock to you. Maybe not. Here we go. I didn't start really loving myself until we bought our first home. It sounds so weird to say it like that, but that's just how my memory works sometimes. It's difficult for me to remember exactly what age I was, that to be the first thing. But I knew it was when we purchased our first home, because that's when I started to do more things I was interested in and for myself, and less for everyone else, right? And so as I was writing this episode, I got up after writing those 2 sentences, went to my daughter's room, knocked on the door, and mind you, it's 11 something at night. She's getting ready. We got home late from rehearsal, and I'm like, hey, do you remember what year it was that we moved into our new house? She's like, what? I was like, yeah, do you remember what year or how old you were? I know you remember one of those. And I just didn't, I was feeling really lazy. I tried to find a photo of us. We took this really cute photo of us holding her up, holding the key to our new house, but I couldn't find it in my phone. And I was like, oh, I'll just go ask her. She'll know. And she did, because she's like, oh, well, I was 7, so that makes it 2015. And I was like, fan-friggin-tastic. That's awesome. So, I was able to identify, 2015. Wow. It's almost been a decade that we've owned that home, which is actually pretty exciting. But yeah, so the year was 2015, as I found out from my 15-year-old. That was the year. So that we would, that would actually make me, I was almost 30 because we moved into the house before winter and I hadn't turned 30 yet. So that's crazy. So I was almost 30. So wow. So yeah, I was late to the party on taking care of myself for more than just like impressing other people and being ready to serve others. Because a lot of times I would take care of myself, like I'd make myself look all good and pretty and care like how the house looked. And at that time living, like prior to that, we lived in like a townhome, like right across the street from where she went to elementary school. And I remember spending so much time wanting to make sure that that house looked really good and like the inside and everything. It wasn't the best place to live, but it was way better than the place we had lived previously. So I was so super grateful for the upgrade and being like right across the street from school for like 2 years. It was fantastic. And we lived there longer than 2 years, but 2 years, like she would be able to walk to school. Fan-freaking-tastic. But yeah, I just remember everything that I did. I was highly into catering for baked goods, like I don't know what, pastries. So any sort of like kind of like a self-taught, semi-professional pastry chef kind of person, where I would actually cater orders for like weddings and parties and for our church and events and things like that. And I just remember being so all about wanting to impress other people, wanting to look good for other people. And that would be the only reason that I would actually take care of myself, right? So it's crazy that it took me that long. So if you are younger than me and you still haven't got to that point of loving yourself, just know that it can happen later, right? It's not as though you've missed the boat. Like the boat is always there. It's just like you have to get to it and then you have to board it and then you have to decide, oh yeah, this is for me. So it just allows you to understand that like it's not something that everyone automatically understands and learns when they're younger. No, it took me until I was like 30. And even then, like right before I turned 30 and we bought this home, it's not as though it like magically happened. It still happened over time. It's just when we moved into that house, I was like, okay, this is it. But even that first year was really difficult because we were doing like an addition on that house and time was rough. And I think that was part of it too. It's like we were having such a rough time working together, my husband and I, to get that done because it was very stressful. And then also like working our regular jobs and taking care of our kiddo and all of this stuff. Anyway, but I made it happen. That means that you can make it happen. That is your inspirational story for the day. So in the previous episode to this, the one that came out right before this one, we spoke about the why behind loving ourselves and the benefit of doing so. So it's like why it is important to love yourself just as much as you love other people and the benefit of doing so. So if you haven't listened to that episode, please take the time to take a quick listen to it because you will gain a deeper understanding behind why it's so important and how it can be helpful to us in life every single day. So I do encourage you to just listen to one that's like right before this. But today we are going to chat about how we can start loving ourselves more, at least as much as we love others, if not more than that, which I think would be great. But it's just steps up. So don't worry about it like not happening right away. It's totally fine. And then what that should look like. So I'm going to give you 5 ways for you to start loving yourself just as much and how that can kind of look and feel just a little bit in the descriptions. And that could give you a really good starting point for you. But before we dive into that really quick, I want you to really listen to me when I tell you that I want you to give this a try for at least 7 days. Now, if you've decided not to turn this off yet, but you're still like skeptical and unsure of whether you have the ability to love yourself just as much as you love other people in your life, you do. I promise you. I promise that we all do. We just don't tap into it or make the decision to shift into that mindset because it feels difficult or it doesn't feel like it will matter. It doesn't feel worth the effort and the time. I get it. I literally get it because, again, I'm the person that didn't really get it until I turned 30. So I understand where you're at. I know it can feel like it doesn't matter or it's not as purposeful, to love yourself and instead focus all of our energy on other people. And you won't really know anything about it until you try it, though. You won't really know until you fully try it. 7 days consecutive, trying to actually incorporating it, loving yourself just as much as other people, giving yourself attention, time, care, comfort, all of these things. You won't really know what it's all about until you actually try it. And that's true for anything, right? So you might even think you really, really like something, and then you go to try it and you don't. And then the opposite can happen all the time where you don't think you're going to like something, but then you really do. So you need to commit to doing it probably several times. Maybe you'll do it for 5 days and then you'll drop off and you're like, oh, I didn't give it the full 7 like she said, but I can't. And then you'll try again and then you'll try again and it'll just hit one of those times. But yeah, it could take several times before it will stick and become something that is actually beneficial to you. So I gave you all the reasons last episode, and we'll share how to do it in this episode, but you have to try it and tweak it for yourself, because we can read books or listen to podcasts or listen to people online talk about how to do this, that, and the other, and all the steps and all the breakdown of it and everything. But we still have to try it for ourselves and then tweak it for ourselves just a little bit to understand how to make it work for who we are. And yes, let's all admit right now at once that being a people pleaser makes this practice even more difficult. It really does. It's so much harder, but still worth it. It's absolutely 110% still worth it, and something that will assist you in pulling away from that behavior. So if one of your goals is to pull away from becoming a people pleaser as soon as possible, then trying this, actually putting the effort and time into loving yourself just as much as you love the other people in your life that you come across, this will definitely help with that endeavor. So I'm going to go and give you a list of 5 ways that you can love yourself more. I want to give you the normal disclaimer that I always give, but also an additional disclaimer. If you couldn't tell, I'm having trouble speaking a little bit, and I might sound a little nasally because I am kind of getting sick a little bit. I'm really trying hard to fight it because we're in theater season right now, and so I cannot get sick, but I apologize if it sounds a little congested, nasally, all that. Here's our normal disclaimer. So if you feel that you listen to these tips and these ways that this advice I'm about to give you and anything else I've shared today, and you just feel like it's not really going to align with how you can figure out how to love yourself best, then I encourage you to speak with a counselor or a therapist. And because all of this, I'm sorry, I did it backwards, you guys. All of this knowledge and information is based on my own knowledge and experience and research and my personal experiences and the experiences of other people that I am able to share. So yeah, if you're just this is not working for me, doesn't align with how I think it should be, speak to a therapist or a counselor, and you guys can have that one-on-one opportunity to figure out what would align best for you to, how you can love yourself more and as much as you love other people. And if you don't like that idea, I do encourage you to go to our best friend Google and just type in how you can love yourself more, how you can love yourself as much as other people, and then that can help you better. So I just want you to know that I totally understand and believe that not all advice and information is going to work for every single person. That's totally fine. Or even maybe just in this season of life, whatever it is. And so I want you to know that I understand that. I believe it. I'm never here to say that I am the one, the only one that has answers. That's not true. It's not true at all. So hopefully you understand that. And that's why I always give the disclaimer every single time. So, okay. Here are 5 ways you can love yourself more. I really should have gotten a cough drop before I did cough. And you're probably like, Sabrina, why don't you just pause and get one? I don't pause. That's just I'm so stubborn. I don't pause. I don't do deep edits. It's not my thing. I like to be here in the moment, and I should have prepared, but I didn't, so it's okay. Okay, here are 5 ways you can love yourself more. Number 1 is to practice kindness and compassion. Practice kindness and compassion. So you forgive the people in your life for making mistakes and doing silly things, right? And whether they've done it on purpose or not, you're just like, okay, it's cool, whatever. Or you're like, oh, I forgive you. Or you have a deep conversation about it and you are hurt, but you still decide to forgive them. And if that's the case, then you also need to forgive and extend that forgiveness to extend that kindness and that compassion to yourself, right? And, be kind and compassionate by speaking kindly and lovingly to yourself, over yourself. And instead of being negative and putting yourself down all the time, really be kind, be compassionate, be loving, be like, oh my gosh, okay, I love myself. I am doing really good at getting better at this. I'm doing less of this habit that's not beneficial for me anymore. And I love how much happier I've been. I love how much more peace I've experienced, like this, that, and the other, right? Just really dive in and push into the kindness and compassion for yourself that we often have for other people. Become more understanding with what you're dealing with and the struggles that you are just pushing through, and put more effort into acknowledging and accepting your emotions and knowing that every single one matters. None of them are bad, and you just need to believe that they are coming for a reason and understand them more, and then decide how you're going to respond or react in that moment. So practice kindness and compassion to yourself, and that's a great way to show yourself love just as much as you would love someone else. Number 2 is to prioritize your needs. Prioritize your needs. So it's common to put others before us. Even if you do really well at prioritizing your needs and taking care of yourself first and other people last, it's still very common for us, especially here in America, to want to put other people before us, because I also feel like it's this behavior and mindset that's pushed on us as well. It's a different conversation for a different day. Because we want to show them how much we value them and how much we care for them, right? But we need to set boundaries to know when it's appropriate to do that, put people before us, and when it's, more important and best to prioritize ourselves, which is so important and such an easy way for us to show ourselves love and consideration is by prioritizing our needs. And as difficult as it can be, which it can be very difficult, especially if you're a people pleaser, or if you feel like you have a mindset where you're easily convinced by others that you don't matter or they matter more than you, or there's some sort of crazy hierarchy, it can be so difficult. So difficult. And it can be really difficult to learn to say no more to others and yes to ourselves. So we need to say no more often to other people and more often say yes to ourselves, so that we can prioritize our needs and we can enforce those personal boundaries that we create for ourselves, so we can show ourselves some love and kindness and respect and really be there to care for ourselves. So prioritize your needs, because often it's important and needed for you to excel and get to the next level in whatever goal and aspiration that you are seeking. Okay, number 3, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. I really do want everyone to forgive themselves. I want to forgive myself for anything, right? There's no need to hold mistakes and failures against yourself, okay? You probably wouldn't do that to others, right? And even if you would, let's just say we're on both sides here. Even if you would, you still shouldn't do it for yourself. You should still be okay, yes, I may hold it against someone else because I am a little judgmental and I'm really hardcore about things being honest and fair. And I'm kind of like that a little bit too. I get it. But regardless of how we treat others, we need to be forgiving of ourselves as much as we can, because it really gets in the way when we're not. We need to do it for ourselves. You need to accept that all your mistakes and failures are our biggest learning lessons. They are. It's a phrase I say all the time, so much so that when I launched my journal back in October, the planner journal that you can get on Amazon right now, when I launched the OG version, which costs more than the Amazon one, it came with a sticker. It came with several stickers, and one of the stickers is mistakes and failures are our best learning lessons, because that is how important it is. That's how much I want people to know. I want you to stick that sticker somewhere on your water bottle, your phone case, whatever it is, to remember that is truth. Your mistakes and failures are your best learning lessons, and we need to forgive ourselves when we go through those experiences and not hold it against ourselves. And don't hold on to any judgmental or negative self-talk against ourselves either. That's not benefiting us. That's not helping us. It's actually making life harder and worse. Really think about that. Take a pause and be like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. It's just like, oh, we're saying all these negative things. We're holding all these things against us. Yeah, it's not working out. It's not helping. And it doesn't matter what you did. Just let it go. Let it go, as Elsa told us, okay? That's what we learned, to let it go. You don't need the constant reminder if you learned from that experience. You don't need to continuously hold that experience against you, not forgive yourself for what happened or what you did or what you didn't do, because you think that we haven't learned enough or we haven't been punished enough, or someone else feels like we haven't been punished enough. But we have, because you went through this experience and you got through it. So we don't need the constant reminder. And there is no benefit in keeping yourself down forever. There really isn't, because you're not going to be able to excel or move forward or do anything helpful to yourself if you're just continually holding yourself back by not forgiving yourself. So please show yourself love and love yourself as much as you love other people by forgiving yourself. Number 4, choose better people to spend time with. Choose better people to spend time with. So just to be real, as I always am, always, I would say 99% of the time, because I'm sure there's 1% where I haven't been, and I'm not perfect. So that's why I can't just give you 100%. But we all have those people in our lives that we have to spend time with, right? And we wish we didn't. They could be family members, they could be close friends, people that we just didn't end the relationship with, whatever it is. We have those people where we're just like, oh, I got to hang out with them. Or it's some sort of activity and they're a part of it. And so it's you don't get to choose who's a part of it. But you want to participate. So it's just I have to take the pain with the progress, with the happiness of whatever is going to happen. You know what I mean? So we have those people. But most of the other people in our lives, we get a choice. We get to choose who we hang out with, who is our friends, who we incorporate in our life. And if we are choosing to hang out with people that are bringing down the mood, really just bringing down the vibe and not really helping people and feeling like they're actually contributing to the friendships, the relationships, the groups, they're bringing down the mood, they're always complaining or displaying a victim mentality, woe is me, oh my gosh, no one cares, all that kind of stuff, then you aren't doing yourself any favors, And I thought about this deeply because I was well, I've done that before, and I thought it was this good thing, and it's not. We might think that being there is us doing a good deed of being a good role model or a good example for these people. But there needs to be a limit on stuff like that too, right? And I, growing up, I didn't really think that there needed to be a limit. I thought I had to do that. I thought that was like doing the Lord's work, truly, really in my Christianity, and thought that I was doing the Lord's work by that. But it's God did a lot of work, and Jesus was on earth and spent a lot of time with people that other people wouldn't spend time with to be a good example, a good role model. But there's also times where he went away to be alone. And he wasn't just going to put up with people's crap the whole time, right? And so I think about that, and I'm oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good example, right? And so you might think that you're doing a good deed and you're being a good example. But, there has to be a limit. And I'm here to tell you that the limit isn't your entire life, okay? It's not oh, yeah, you have, the limit's your entire life. You have to, do all this crap forever. No, you need to spend time with them, be a good role model, take a break, maybe come back for a bit, take a break, or just have a time. And then if it's just really not working, just end it. Take a long extended break, maybe be a role model when they see you, because that's just what's happening. But go and live your best life, okay? Like if you leave them behind, that's on them. It's not as though you're like throwing it in their face, because you were trying to be there for them and help them and be as beneficial as you could, right? And saying like helpful, positive, uplifting, real, encouraging, responsible things. So just make sure you have a limit. And then it's important for us to spend more time with people that are uplifting and encouraging and people that teach us something, right? And push you to spend time outside of your comfort zone and be better and work towards becoming our best self every single day. That's what we need. And I understand that we're not going to have all of that and none of the other. It's going to be a mix. I would hope and pray for you and me and for all of our sakes that we're spending more time with the uplifting, encouraging people and the people that are helping to push us rather than all the people that are dragging us down and, we're getting kind of caught up in like the things that they're thinking and thinking that we need to feel the same way when we don't. And I'm not saying that we need to be all on the side that's like sunshine and rainbows. Definitely not. Definitely not. That's not how life is. It's encouraging and uplifting and sharing truths and venting when someone is emotionally available, but then also being pushed to try new things and step outside of our comfort zone and be the strong people that we are. So choose better people to spend time with because it really will show that you love yourself, you appreciate yourself, you value who you are, and you want to be that good person for someone else in their life, which is showing them love to be someone that's helpful and beneficial rather than someone that just wants to complain and drag down the mood and the vibe everywhere. So choose better people to spend time with. Okay, number 5 and the last one that I have to share with you today in regards to how you can love yourself more and just as much as you love other people is make time for self-care activities. Make time for self-care activities. Often when I do research, at the end of any list, I didn't make any notes on this, but I just thought about it, is talking about how it's important for you to find, or me, anyone, a professional counselor, therapist to talk to if we feel like we're struggling or just to get more insight and depth on what we're trying to learn about and how we're trying to, teach ourselves and become our best selves. And I just want to let you know that I rarely will add that into a list because it's something that I talk about in the disclaimer on how you should seek out someone if you feel like what I'm sharing is not going to align. But I want you to know that it is something that I'm passionate about. I see my own therapist every single week, except for these last 2 weeks because of conflicting schedules, but generally on a regular cadence every single week. And I believe in therapy and I believe in counseling and I believe that if you take the time and effort, as we do in dating or becoming friends or finding the right career, to find the right and best therapist for you, because just because someone else sees them doesn't mean they're going to be good for you. You know what I mean? If we take the time and effort to do that, then we will benefit from it greatly. But I think that some people feel like they just have to go with the first one that's available. And a lot of times we do that because we just need therapy. But then we have to realize that we can move on and we can change. So I want you to know that. And that part of the reason I don't put that at the end of the list every time is because I feel like I share with you guys often how important therapy and counseling is and how we should all be incorporating it into our lives, despite what's going on in our lives. So, okay, number 5. So I just had to share that just in my heart. Number 5, make time for self-care activities, and therapy counseling could be considered a self-care activity to add in there. So make the time to do things that you enjoy, things that revitalize you, restore you, encourage you, and help you become your best self. And just so you know, hobbies and things that you really enjoy do help you become your best self because it helps to just like restore the happiness and joy that you have in your heart. And you get to take a break from thinking about really hard and difficult things and just have fun and show yourself some kindness and compassion and a break from all the heavy things and all the hard things and all the difficult things that you might also still really enjoy because it's helpful in moving forward, but it's a lot. You know what I mean? So, do things that you can enjoy. So this could be like your favorite exercise. I definitely think everyone should incorporate some sort of exercise that fits where you are in life and what you're dealing with. So it could be something like yoga or running or spinning or weightlifting or walking or whatever it is. There's so many things that you can do nowadays, which I think is pretty fantastic and kind of cool. So maybe you can try one of those, or maybe you really enjoy like centering yourself and having quiet time. So meditation or prayer is best for you, right? I really enjoy personally reading and writing, like writing on the computer or on my phone if I don't have like a computer at my disposal. I just prefer like a desktop computer because I like a regular keyboard. I just type faster and better on that. But if I have to do it on my phone, I still enjoy it. But yeah, I really enjoy reading and writing. And I've always enjoyed those things since I was like a little kid, actually. Yeah, my dad is like a really big reader when I was growing up. And I just kind of like adopted that. And that's since I was like his only kid, I spent a lot of time by myself. And reading was definitely one of those things. And then writing, I started writing stories and like short stories. I don't know. Like I was writing them down in paper in school, and then I remember getting a computer and writing stories on the computer. I don't know. I just loved it. Just loved it so much. So much. I don't know. Anyway, so those are things. So I try to add those to my agenda quite often because it's not only like relaxing and enjoyable for me, but it also like fosters my creativity and gets my brain moving and grooving and kind of like in different areas that I maybe haven't considered or areas that I have, but thinking even deeper about those topics and concepts and even quicker at typing, especially since I got a new keyboard that I like a lot, but it's still kind of like a learning curve of like, okay, I need to learn how to type faster and better on this keyboard. So anyway, I really love that. So make sure you pick something that fits for a physical need and one for an emotional need. So for me, I like to like walk, getting back into jogging, rowing, spinning, weightlifting for my physical one. And then for my mental one, I like to read and write and organize and design like certain kinds of things. Those are really fun things for me to do that are self-care activities. I also like to take baths with candles and snacks and just sit in the tub and watch mindless things and the lights off. And it's so nice. And it has to be hot and lots of bubbles. It's amazing. And a cold drink, it's amazing. It's a great time. If you haven't done it yet, you should do it. Take a bath, all the lights off, candles, have a snack, salty or sweet, whatever. I've done both. They're great. Have a cold drink and lots of bubbles and maybe other stuff in the water too. Like I like to use like oils and other like bath bombs and stuff and just sit there and just be like, oh. And then always have like a towel on the side. So if you do get too hot, you can kind of like, pat down all that sweat. But it's just nice. It's so comfortable. Anyway, I'm such a big bath person that when we bought this house, I had to make sure that there was an in-suite bath in the master's, so I wouldn't have to wait like a whole year for us to add one in. And then even in the house we lived into this before, which we just rented to like kind of try out the neighborhood, that had to have a bathtub like in-suite in the master. It just had to, right? And it's like we have we had the ability to like make that choice, and in our other house we didn't. So in our master we only had like a stand-up shower and a sink and a toilet. And then in the other bathroom, we had a tub, and I would sometimes take a bath in there, but it was awkward because it was kind of like my daughter's bathroom. Anyway, but it's like one of my favorite things to do, and I need to make more time for it because it's such a good self-care activity. So it's more of like one of those classic ones, but I do enjoy reading and writing and designing things and prayer and working out and all those things. So make time for whatever self-care activities you enjoy that help you relax and revitalize and restore and help you become your best self. But that is everything that I have to share with you for 5 ways you can learn to love yourself more and how to love yourself just as much as you love other people. And thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, me, Sabrina. Wow, my throat is like, it feels okay, but it's like getting to the end and I really need to blow my nose, I think. But thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Don't forget to take a peekaroo down in the show notes below for how to sign up for the weekly newsletter that comes out every Monday. Suggest a topic, vent anonymously if you don't have someone emotionally available to do that with you. Support the podcast financially. Check out any the journal that I sell, or anything else that's going on down there, check it all out. Become friends online. And I appreciate you listening, downloading, and sharing the show. And if you want to support me, but not financially, I totally get it. All you need to do is share the show with everyone that you know so they can listen and download and become a subscriber. I'd really appreciate that. So until next time, have a good one, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.